Nothing in this world is difficult, but thinking makes it seem so. Where there is true will, there is always a way. Sun Wukong has wormed his way into so many different forms of media since his conception that it has become impossible to escape this princely primate, this simian sovereign, this monkey king. It's like everywhere you look, there's Wukong. This is Wukong, this is Wukong, these are Wukong, this is Wulong, this is Oolong, and this is King Kong. Before Goku, there was Monkey. Before Shonen Jump, there was Monkey. And before those short animated clips from Japan in the early 1900s that were considered the first anime ever created, there was Monkey. But who was this monkey? Where did he come from? And why do I consider him to be the original shonen protagonist? Before we can talk about the Monkey King, we have to talk about a certain Buddhist monk that kick-started everything. Sangshan was a Buddhist monk from 7th century China who was so dedicated to his pursuit of knowledge that he disobeyed travel restrictions to venture westward towards India in order to gain more knowledge about Buddhism. This journey took Sangshan 17 years to accomplish, and he not only managed to reach India, but he returned to China with the knowledge he learned and was hailed as a legendary traveler, monk, and scholar. After nearly 1,000 years passed since Sangshan's journey to the west, a Chinese novelist named Wu Chang'in decided to retell the monk's journey but thought, what if I made it awesome instead? And thus, one of the most influential pieces of Eastern literature ever made was written, and it was fittingly called Journey to the West. So, what actually happens in Journey to the West? Well, it starts with a rock. Look at this rock, now back to me, now back to this rock, now back to me. The rock is now a monkey. The monkey got really bored of being mortal and decided to seek out immortality. He learned about the various ways to become immortal, and when asked which method he would like to achieve immortality with, he simply said, yes. The monkey became the first mortal creature to discover the ancient art of buff stacking. He learned immortality through Taoist practices, erased his name from the list of people who were supposed to pass into the afterlife, ate immortality granting peaches, found the 7 Chaos Emeralds, gathered all of the Infinity Stones, and gave himself God mode in Minecraft. With his newfound powers, the Monkey King fully buys into his own hype and decides to take on, I don't know, the entirety of heaven. He pretty much beats up every single divine being in heaven to the point where they had to call down the Buddha to deal with his simian rampage. The Buddha made a little challenge to the monkey that if he could leap out of his palm, and the Buddha is pretty huge by the way, then he would let Wukong become the new ruler of heaven. Wukong took the challenge and said, nah, I'd win, before proceeding to leap from the Buddha's palm all the way to a pillar at the edge of the universe. He even left a present there for the Buddha, the same kind of present that a puppy would leave on your carpet before it was housebroken. Unfortunately for the monkey, the Buddha did a little trolling and revealed that his palm is the size of the universe and that the pillar that the monkey relieved himself on was actually one of his gigantic sized fingers, most likely the middle one. With this embarrassing defeat, the Buddha decided to put the monkey back where he came from, inside of a rock. A rather big rock. I think those are called mountains. And so for 500 years the monkey was chilling underneath the mountain until a certain monk decided to take a little trip to India. Why, it's our old friend Sangshan, and he can't make the pilgrimage alone on account of the scary monsters, bandits, and telemarketers along the way. It seems like he is in need of a bodyguard. You can see where this is going. A bodhisattva named Guan Yin decided to help out the monk because she's chill like that. A bodhisattva is someone who is on the path to becoming a Buddha but is not quite yet a Buddha, a semi-honored one, or a half-Buddha if you will. Since the monk is a pacifist and the monkey needed an attitude adjustment, Guan Yin thought it would be easier to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and assign Wukong to be Sangshan's bodyguard so that the monk can safely reach India and the monkey can learn discipline and humility from him. The Bodhisattva does a little bit of trolling of her own by tricking the monkey into wearing a crown that would cause him immense pain whenever Sangshan chanted a very specific prayer. Since Wukong is known for his tendency to go bananas, B-A-N-A-N-A-S, whenever he gets the opportunity, it was good for the monk to have a way to control him. Basically, the crown acts as a spray bottle for Sangshan to use on the monkey whenever he acts out, which was often. And so the two began their journey to the west. The team fights through hundreds of demons over the course of 2,000 pages, and at the end of their long journey, the Monkey King, along with the monk Sangshan, achieve Buddhahood. And Sun Wukong is given his final title, the Victorious Fighting Buddha. While most of the major details of Journey to the West may be lost on the average anime fan, I'm willing to bet that the image of a monkey man wielding a bow staff riding on a magic cloud will cause some people's neurons to activate. But why has this little monkey stood the test of time, and why is he so pervasive in anime? Well, from the way I see it, Sun Wukong is kinda the first shonen protagonist. Sun Wukong had all of the makings of an early shonen protagonist. A journey of self-improvement? Wukong does that. Completely BS powers? Wukong's got that. Transformations? Wukong has 72 of those. Not to mention his rambunctious personality and love for battle is mimicked by so many shonen protagonists today. Wukong's story also teaches us many important life lessons such as perseverance, humility, and self-improvement, which are all common themes in so many shonen anime. I want to get this clear, I'm not saying that Sun Wukong invented any of these things. The Odyssey existed long before Journey to the West, and it was about a long-spanning journey as well. And there are plenty of other stories about transformations and self-improvement that predate the monkey, but Sun Wukong's personality and his adventures just had all of the markings of a good shonen story. And in 1984, the Monkey King would make his biggest leap into the world of anime and manga thanks to the vision of one person, Akira Toriyama. If there was one person I could credit with bringing the myth of Sun Wukong into the modern day, it would be Akira Toriyama. The story of Dragon Ball had all of the elements that made Journey to the West appealing. It was a long-spanning adventure that involved magic, colorful characters, lessons about growth and humility, and most importantly, lots and lots of battles. Of course, the most iconic inspiration that Dragon Ball had from Journey to the West was in its main character. It's no secret that Son Goku had direct inspiration from Sun Wukong. The monkey-tailed boy was Toriyama's way of paying homage to the legendary character and reinventing him for a modern audience. Wukong's penchant for leaping from cloud to cloud was adapted into Goku's flying nimbus. His iconic staff, the Rui Jingu Bang, was adapted into Goku's power pole. Wukong's lecherous pig companion, Zhu Baji, was adapted into Goku's lecherous pig companion, Oolong. Goku's wife, Chi-Chi, was also based off of Princess Ironfan from the ancient novel. Dragon Ball is far from the only story to adapt Sun Wukong's story, but it is certainly the biggest. What was once a story that was contained to the eastern region of the world expanded into a global sensation. After the massive international success of Dragon Ball, Goku would go on to become a legend himself, inspiring a whole generation of manga artists. Goku inspired the creation of many iconic anime characters today, but there is one that has a deeper connection with not just Goku, but to the original monkey himself. And who is this character? Well, it's none other than Monkey D. Luffy. So what does Luffy have in common with Wukong other than being named Monkey? Well, it's actually deeper than you think. To start off, have you ever wondered why Luffy came from the East Blue? Well, according to the lore of the Monkey King, the world was divided into 4 seas upon its creation. This is very similar to the 4 seas that make up the world of One Piece. And it just so happens that the Monkey King came from a mountain located in the Eastern Sea, which explains why our favorite pirate comes from a village in the East Blue. Wukong also has the iconic ability to transform into many different forms, echoing Luffy's gears as well as Goku's many different flavors of Super Saiyan. The similarities don't stop there, since the devil fruits in One Piece also bear a resemblance to the peaches of immortality described in Journey to the West. In the novel, Wukong temporarily acts as the guardian of a divine peach garden, where each peach would grant you immortality along with some fancy powers like flight and strength. Wukong, hungry for both eternal life and some good food, gobbled up all of the peaches so that he could get immortality squared. While Luffy himself didn't eat his devil fruit with the intention of gaining power, the similarities are too hard to ignore here. As I mentioned before, Journey to the West didn't pioneer the concepts in its stories. The concept of a magical fruit giving you power existed before the Monkey King, like with the golden apples in Greek mythology. However, once you consider the fact that Luffy is based off of Goku, who himself is based off of Wukong, and his name is quite literally Monkey D. Luffy, it's safe to assume that the concept of the magical fruits most likely originated from Journey to the West. Luffy's personality also matches that of Sun Wukong, even more so than Goku in some instances. He is constantly loud, rude, arrogant, and so sure of himself and his own power that he will challenge anything and everything that looks at him funny. It gets even deeper when you consider that Wukong was humbled by the palm of the Buddha and Luffy was humbled by the palm of Bartholomew Kuma. One of the most important aspects of Sun Wukong that Luffy adapted perfectly was his fervent hatred of authority, specifically divine authority. The monkey's whole personality before his journey to the West was about rebelling against heaven. According to the lore, heaven is ruled by the Jade Emperor and the Celestial Court, which is made up of other divine immortals. Wukong loved to disrespect the Jade Emperor in any way he can because he hated being told what to do. Any limits that heaven tried to place on his freedom was met with disobedience, destruction, and some colorful words from the monkey. Wukong even storms his way into heaven, destroying everything, beating up everybody until the Buddha had to be called to take care of him. Luffy, in the same way, has zero tolerance for any form of authority and will throw hands with anyone and anything that tries to take away his or anyone else's freedom. One of the most iconic Luffy moments in One Piece is him punching the Celestial Dragon because of his complete disregard for their authority. Tell me this isn't exactly what Sun Wukong would do in the exact same situation. Both Luffy and Wukong are the arbiters of personal freedom and a bane to anyone who would impose their wills onto others. I'm very certain that there are a lot more characters in anime that Wukong has directly inspired, but Goku and Luffy have done a lot to bring Wukong's energy back into the modern day. Journey to the West is one of the most important pieces of literature in the Eastern world, and its effect on the anime landscape could not be understated. I truly believe that Sun Wukong is the original shonen protagonist, and I'm glad he's getting a lot of love with the release of Black Myth Wukong. I definitely left out a lot of detail from the Journey to the West novel in this video, but considering the book had over 2,000 pages, it would have taken a 10-hour video to fully dive into the whole story. But this is where you come in. Let me know in the comments down below what other aspects of Sun Wukong and Journey to the West have been adapted into anime or manga. Did I miss anything important, or did I get anything wrong? I'd love your input, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time with more lukewarm takes.